And we are live. How you doing? Mike Blissett here, founder of Speak Like a Pro Online, and I want to welcome you to this. I think it's number 3 of Ask Mike, my YouTube live sessions on a Thursday. It's 7. It's just after 7 o'clock. It's actually 7:30ish here in London. I was delayed on the trains coming home today, so that's why it's a little bit later than I had planned. So whether you're watching this live, thank you for sticking around or stumbling upon it. If you're watching it on catch up or on my YouTube channel or wherever I might post it afterwards, thank you for taking the time. The idea of these Ask Mike sessions are really just to, it kind of does what it says on the can, but give you an opportunity to ask me questions that might be helpful for you. This channel is about sharing ideas, tools and techniques to help you grow your business, speak with more confidence, and to do that with online video. And so, you know, it's kind of around those areas. So as I say, this is, I think, the 3rd Ask Mike course. So I'm starting to get some response, which is fabulous. Thank you for the folks that have Facebook messaged me. I had a couple of emails. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm also going to be sharing this on LinkedIn as well. I'll share the recording on LinkedIn just so that hopefully we'll get some more people from there and direct them all to this YouTube channel, because this year for me, just sharing personally, I want to grow my YouTube channel. That's my focus, or one of my kind of exciting aims for this year. So jumping straight into it, I had an email from, let's just take these in any order. I had an email from Kay. I'm starting at the bottom on my list here, by the way. So I got 3 questions this week. Kay asked me, how does she start a YouTube channel? And I think that's a fair question. Obviously, I kind of started mine, and really, with regards to YouTube, you need to have a Google account. So that's kind of, I don't know, when you say how do you start a YouTube channel, how basic, how step 1 do you want to go, or do you already have that, and maybe you've got a YouTube channel and you want to know how to start kind of populating it or growing it. So I would say probably number 1, get in touch. Give me some more information. So I'm going to give you some kind of a few kind of pointers tonight in this Ask Mike session. But equally, if I'm completely off the mark and you're way ahead, or just starting out and I've kind of missed the kind of the point or the nuance of what you were wanting to get from me, please get in touch. Let me know, and I will gladly send you some more information, or we can set up a call, whatever works. So how do I start? How would I start a YouTube channel if I had to start again? That's probably a good question. As I say, it's important because YouTube is owned by Google, so you have to have a Google account. That's kind of where it starts. And really, for YouTube, I think it's much easier now in that years ago, and I started my channel about 9 years ago or something, and didn't do anything with it for a long time. Or didn't do much with it. It's only quite recently, the last year or so, year or two, that I've actually started to do things increasingly regularly and with a purpose. So when I started, you could only upload videos. Now, of course, you can do this. You can do live. So if you've got a phone, I'm doing this on my iPhone here, but whatever phone you've got, as long as it's got a camera and you've got a YouTube account, so you've got a Google account and you've opened a YouTube account, so it'll give you a YouTube channel, you can just upload live. You can talk to camera, you can hand hold your phone and just speak into the, the phone will pick up the sound. You can get a microphone if you want to. I've got a little Rode mic here. I'll put a link below this, below the video after I finish, so you can check this mic out. But it's pretty good sound quality. And it comes in about £40, $40-50, something like that. So it's not crazy expensive, and it's just a little bit better sound than perhaps probably would be on a smartphone. So as I say, just the way to start a YouTube channel is, once you've got the basics, you've got it registered, just start shooting video. really. If you want to do it live, that's probably the easiest way. I would suggest, and there's loads of videos, I'll put some up on the screen at the end of this video, of how to plan what you're going to say, what information you're going to share, and how you're going to make a YouTube video. I'll put some pointers to that in previous videos I've made, and they're on this YouTube channel. So basically, whether you go live or whether you do record, and as I say, you can still record into your phone if you've got a different kind of camera, maybe a DSLR or a camcorder or whatever. You can record them as well. But the process is the same. I think it's a good idea to plan what you are going to say, at least on that video. I think as you carry on, I think it's good. You don't have to do any of this, by the way. I think it's good when you're starting to make video, when you're starting to build a YouTube channel, just to make videos. Really, they can be about almost anything that you have some comment on, some take on, some interest in, and then I think by doing that, and I would encourage you to make as many videos as you possibly can, as regularly as you possibly can. Some people even video daily. I mean, wow, I don't know how they do it. I mean, it's fantastic. I wish I had that much to say. But some people are that disciplined. And they're really, really successful. Some of them have 12 million subscribers. It's just incredible. And they kind of pump out this really great quality content every single day. So I don't do that. I just taken it up from the commitment of uploading a video, recording video once a week. I made that commitment about 1.5 years ago, and I have kept that going. And then just quite recently with these live calls, I've just upped that to 2 videos a week. So the one video that I upload every Monday, that's a recorded video that I usually film on the previous week, the Thursday or Friday, or maybe on Saturday morning, or the previous Monday. It's my video marketing day, whatever it is. So I have some content I put together, and it's just a short video, but that gets uploaded to my YouTube channel on a Monday. And then Thursdays, I'm still kind of playing around with the time. This evening it was meant to be 7, but obviously 7 doesn't quite work because I was stuck on a train. So I'm thinking maybe next week I'm going to do a bit earlier, maybe 3 in the afternoon or something like that. But I'll let you know on that. I'll post on social media and in my newsletter just to let you know what time next week's call is. But I think I'm going to do 3 p.m. see how that works. So if you've got a view on that, if you've got a comment on that, let me know. So the reason I'm sharing that with you, Kay, is that I'm in process. I'm building my YouTube channel. So what I'm doing, I'm making videos, I'm trying stuff out. I'm doing some, as you've seen on the YouTubes that I put on my YouTube channel, and also send out with my newsletter that are linked back to the YouTube videos. I do a collection of things like some kind of semi-training videos. I've done some interviews last year with some people, and I plan to do some more because I actually really enjoy that. I do some book review videos. There was a book review went out last week. I still got it on my table here. I haven't put it back on the shelf yet. Fiona Harrold, 7 Rules of Success. I'm not sure if that's reversed in my selfie camera, but anyway, yeah, Fiona Harrold, 7 Rules of Success. So you can see I do kind of a collection of types of videos. I even made videos last year. I think I was one time I was in the newly opened, renovated I was going to say iPhone store, basically the Apple store in central London. And I made a video in there because it's got like the trees in there and everything. And it was just me, populating the YouTube channel, finding what kind of videos I like to make, what kind of videos resonate with people who are on the YouTube channel. So everything I said of kind of what I'm doing, and I've learned this from other people, I would suggest you do. So register, if you haven't got a Google account, register a Google account. Then you can register a YouTube channel, and this just, I mean, go on YouTube, you know, and just sort of put a Google search in how to register a YouTube channel, because it's all there. And if you want a hand with this, as I say, let me know. And then just start making videos, whether they're live, whether they are recorded, whatever works for you. I'd encourage you to try both and see what resonates with you, what works for you, what works for the people that you want to create this conversation with on YouTube. I think I'll just kind of leave it here, that I've kind of moved into this area. My own personal view, where I am at the moment, is that one thing I've kind of realization I've come to is that YouTube isn't just about pumping videos out there, putting videos out there and just putting out content. Actually, for me, and I think I've had this realization, YouTube is a conversation, in that it's not just about putting stuff out there. Yes, you have to put something out there, but equally it's then creating a conversation. And so that's kind of what's begun, I guess, with this, at least with the Ask Mike video lives, YouTube live calls. That this is the third or the fourth one or something. If you're on my newsletter, you'll know that I also, as I mentioned, I also send the recordings or the recorded videos from YouTube out in my newsletter, and I get, you know, regular email replies. I'm going to kind of mention one next in the next question here. So as I say, it creates a conversation. It's nice to know that some of the things, not all of them, but some of them, things that I'm saying are landing, are resonating with people. And I think for you building your channel, it's finding out what that is for you, and equally what that is for the people that you want to make your videos for. So hopefully that's useful. How do I start a YouTube channel? Great question. Thank you very much, Kay. And as I say, if I completely missed the mark there and you're either further ahead or somewhere else, or I didn't quite hit the mark, just let me know. Message me, leave a comment below. If you're on the newsletter list, just hit reply to one of the newsletters. Just get in touch. Go to the website, send me a message there, however you want to do it. And just let me know. And as I say, if it is something kind of subtly different that you wanted to know about, let me know. Okay, moving swiftly on. By the way, there are 3 questions tonight. So the second one is Lesley. And thank you very much. Lesley sent me an email, and it was in response to last week's video that I uploaded. Well, actually last week, this week on Monday. It's been a long week. There's like been 9 days this week already, and it's still only Thursday. But yeah, it was this week on Monday. So I uploaded a video. It was a book review, as I say, Fiona Harrold, 7, I keep wanting to call it 7 Habits, 7 Rules of Success. And I've started when I remember. This is a new habit, and it's not quite a habit yet, but I've started to, when I remember, in a video, as I say, when I remember every time, it will be a habit then, obviously. But the intention is, toward the end of each video, to ask a question of the day, a question of that video. Again, just to invite a response, to create a conversation. And I don't always remember on every single video I've made over the last couple of months to do that. So as I say, it's not quite embedded. It's not quite habit yet. But I did ask on this week's video, question of the day, what one book would you recommend that has been helpful for you on your journey, whether that's in business or in your coaching practice or in life or whatever it is for you? And I got a ton of replies. That was one of the questions that actually got the most responses, I think, because everybody's got one book or a collection of books. And quite a few people got back to me and said, that's a difficult question. It's not only one book. Lesley got back to me and she said exactly that you know, it's not just one book, but there's a collection. And she mentioned Stephen Covey, 7 Habits, which I just happen to have here on my table. It's a great book. I'm just holding this up because the others she mentioned I haven't read, so I don't have them to hold up. So yeah, Stephen Covey, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, have meant a lot to her. And I can tell you that I've talked about this book to literally thousands of people when I've been training as part of the coaching academy on the particular training that I do with them. And part of that, it's just a kind of a passing kind of mention. I mentioned one of his habits, actually, the habit 2, begin with the end in mind. And I know that book, 7 Habits, it's meant so much to so many people, me included. So yeah, great recommendation, Lesley. And the others she mentioned was 2 by Susan Jeffers, End the Struggle and Dance with Life, and Simple Abundance. Neither of which I have read. I've read Susan Jeffers' Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, which is, I don't quote that usually at the academy. Sometimes it kind of crops up if somebody says something, it just kind of triggers something, I will mention it, but it's not actually like a prescribed part that I usually include in their training. But it's a very well-known book and a very well-respected book as well. But the other 2, End the Struggle and Dance with Life, and Simple Abundance, I will seek out. Great recommendations, thank you. And then also Lesley finally also recommended Johnathan, Livingston, Seagull by Richard Bach. A very famous book. I'm probably the only person in the world never to have read it, so I will look for that one as well. So that is either going to be Kindled, it'll be on my Kindle, or I'll pick up the book from somewhere. And by the way, if anybody's thinking, well, where do you like to go to buy your books? If you're in London, or I guess in a big city, we're kind of slightly spoiled in that, you know, there's some really great bookshops. So I personally, I like going to Foyles on Charing Cross Road. If you're wondering, I just it's just something about bookshops. And there's also Waterstones on Piccadilly. It's just something about bookshops that's kind of romantic. It's not romantic in that there's candles and a romantic dinner or anything. It's just about being surrounded by so much knowledge and so many thoughts that people have bothered to record and develop and you know, produce as books. I just, to be surrounded by thousands or millions of books it's just for me it's one of the beauties of life. And so yeah, I mean, growing up I used to feel the same about going to you know, I don't think they have them anymore, the old-fashioned kind of record stores when we used to have vinyl albums. I just used to go and look around, look through all the albums in the record store. I didn't buy many of them because I didn't have any money. But and I remember as a teenager in New York, going to some record stores with some of my cousins, and just literally spending an hour or 2 there, just looking through tons and tons. And it's just a romantic. It's just a romantic thing to do. I mean, you know, I don't think those record stores are really around anymore. I know there are probably a few. I'm sure you're probably going to let me know there are a few still around, but you know, they used to be everywhere and they're not. But equally, bookshops, they are, and yeah, so I love that. So I read books on Kindle, and that's cool because it doesn't weigh very much, and you know, it's cool. But equally, there's something romantic about picking up a book and turning the pages, and it's a pleasurable thing to do. So with these recommendations, Lesley and also the other folks, I've just chosen Lesley's email. Oh gosh, what do I do? I would naturally buy the book, but I think the amount of books I've got in my house, I'll probably get the Kindle edition. So let's see. But thank you, Lesley. Appreciated. I don't know whether, by the way, I haven't made I don't think I made a video on 7 habits yet. Yeah, maybe I will. It might be a good recommendation. I am going to read the others that you mentioned, Lesley, and who knows, maybe I'll make a video. People like one thing I'm finding from making these, I think I've only made about 3 or 4 book review videos on my YouTube channel. Kay, you asked about building a YouTube channel. And one thing I'm finding is that book review videos seem to resonate with people. They tend to like them, which is great. I personally, when I follow some other YouTubers, and I like watching kind of or following techie reviews on things like cameras and smartphones and things like Apple gadgets, and where they give a review and they also give an opinion on that kind of thing. And so I'm sure I'm on that list of people who watch those kind of videos. So equally, there are people who you kind of watch my videos that they like reviews. They like the book reviews. So that's something I found. I don't know if that's useful for UK, but as I say, when you're making your videos, I'll flip back to the previous question now. Just you know, don't have too many rules at the beginning. Just make videos that you like to make, and just then notice what lands with the people. Either you get views, or you get responses, or you get likes, or people show their engagement in different ways. And so just be aware of how that is. Yeah, it's useful. So thank you, Kay. Thank you, Lesley. The final question is from Jan. Jan asked me, do you offer a group coaching program? Thank you, Jan. I appreciate that. I do and I don't. In that I offered my first group coaching program last year, and it was fun. In fact, I offered two. I offered a group coaching for the original beta group of Speak Like a Pro Online. The folks that we went on this kind of magical mystery tour of meeting virtually on Zoom each week for I don't know, 3 months, developing the program. So me sharing information, see where I landed, and that's how I kind of built the course. And so that was really the first group coaching. And then I did a 1-year group coaching program for people who wanted to start building their own kind of business. And there were a lot of, I say a lot, there were only 8 people on the course, so there weren't 300. But of the group, there were the majority of them were coaches. And you know, I actually really enjoyed working with them, because the struggles and the challenges and the questions that they brought to the calls, and we met, as I say, virtually on Zoom once a month. They were similar challenges and questions and ideas that I have, you know, I've had along the way, and sometimes I still have. So it was just great to work with these brilliant people that were wanting to make their difference in the world. That's so cool, and to be part of that. Equally, when I'm with the Coaching Academy, and just in my little section, just my little section, just my little input that I have now and again when I do a training with the Academy, and I meet those lovely people, but you know, both colleagues and also, you know, the students, the delegates, just to know that on their bigger, grander journey, I've just had a little conversation that's helped them along their way, is one of the coolest things. And so in the coaching program, it's kind of a similar thing. It's just the sweetest thing. And if you're a coach, if you work with people, whether it's individually or whether it's with groups, you know what I'm talking about here. And equally, if you're a teacher or if you're a mentor, and you work with people, or a trainer, we're on the same page here. You know what I'm talking about. So coming back to Jan's question, do I offer a group coaching program? Not at the moment. There is one on my website. It's not open at the moment, and the one that I ran last year completed at the end of the year. And so yes, there is an application form for this year's group coaching program, and it will begin in May. So again, the parameters will probably be about the same, between 6 and 8 people. So if less than 6 people apply, then I won't run it. I'll just offer them individually, you know, some sessions. But equally, 6 to 8 people, from the way I work with people, that's a happy number for a group program. Equally, when I offer in-house training, presentation skills training, that number, 6 to 8 people, is a happy number. I also train with much larger groups than that. But actually, for the kind of work I do and how I like to work, it's a happy place with people. That number, 6 to 8 people, is a good number. So if I can, if there are 6 to 8 people out there, it could be you, that is thinking they want to work on growing their business or establishing their business or looking at how they can start their business. And again, we're probably looking at some people who want to start building. It doesn't have to be a coaching practice. I know a lot of people on my mailing list are coaches, but equally you could be in kind of related areas and professions, the mentors, the counselors, the consultants, the speakers, and because I also know that I have a bunch of them in my on my list as well, and in my Facebook and LinkedIn list of people that follow me. So if you want to work on your business and you want to work collectively with people, and I'm not going to be telling you what to do, but in the best traditions of coaching, bring some ideas to each session, maybe a framework and maybe a model, and then working, kind of hot seating people in the Zoom calls. We'll probably do it on Zoom again, so we can record it and you can watch it back afterwards, and it'll be on the members area, so you get your own members portal on the website. So you don't have to remember everything on the call. You can go back and watch it again. If you're kind of into all that, let me know. Either leave a comment, drop me an email, go to the website. I think the page is, when you go into the mikeblissett.com website, it's on, the top tab is work with me. And if you click that, at the bottom of that page, because it's got some options, individual coaching, training, etc. And there aren't 27 options. I think there were 4 or 5 options. The last option there is group coaching. Just click on that. You will see a link to an application form, and yeah, you can apply to be one of those 6 to 8 people on the group. As I say, it starts in May, so we've got a couple of months to kind of do that, to get that together, to see if people want to do that. So hopefully that's that's useful for you, Jan. I put links to all of these things immediately below. At the end of this video, I'll put a couple of videos, suggested videos on screen for Kay, so she can see some previous videos I made, kind of training kind of videos of how to start that YouTube channel. So you'll see those in a few moments, right at the end of this video. Kay, Lesley, I don't need to put any links to your books because you know what they are. I'm going to go and read them now, so that's great. But I will put the links to those books just below this video anyway for anyone else that's watching this video and they want to check any of them out. So there'll be links to Amazon, so you can check all these books out on Amazon and just see if you want to order one. It's up to you. And then Jan, I'll put a link below this video in the show notes, just down there. And it will be a link to that page, so you don't have to click around the website. You can just go to it and have a look. And then if you want to, fill out the application form. The application form, it doesn't ask for any payment details. It just asks for your initial interest and what you want to work on and how you see yourself working with the group. So it's a very, very simple application process. We'll organize a call, and then when we're coming up to just a little time before May, just a few weeks before May, we'll just decide, or I'll let you decide if you want to be part of that, and then you can jump in and join the group. Okay, so that's how that works. But I'll put links below there. So that is tonight's Ask Mike call. I don't know what the time is. I haven't got it around me left. I came in the house rushing from getting home. As I say, the train was kind of late tonight, and so I left my watch downstairs. So let's have a look on the computer. Okay, so it's just after 8. So we did about half an hour. So hopefully that's cool. I think next Thursday, I'm gonna do the Ask Mike session. I'm gonna try it at 3 p.m. but double check that with, if you're on my newsletter list, you'll get a confirmation of that in next Tuesday's email. I send my newsletter out on a Tuesday, and but I'm looking at 3 o'clock. And equally, if you're not on my newsletter list, just go to my website, mikeblizzard.com, download the free reports and free video training, Speak Up, Stand Out, 5 weird ways to begin your presentation, and it means you'll be on my mailing list, and so then you get the newsletter next Tuesday. If you're not on my newsletter list and you don't want to be on my newsletter list, I'll also post a graphic, a picture of the Ask Mike session and the time next week on Facebook and Twitter and all the rest of it, LinkedIn, on next Tuesday, or Tuesday and Wednesday actually. So you'll see it there as well if you follow me there. So that's kind of it for tonight. I hope this call has been useful for you. Question of the day. Actually, question of the day. What do you want to ask me for next week's call? You've got 7 days to ask. You've got 7 days to find out. Hi there, Asha. How you doing? Thank you very much for joining the call. So yeah, so you've got 7 days to think of a question or questions. So for next week's Ask Mike session, next Thursday, drop me a line, put a comment in the box below, send me an email, whatever works for you. What do you want to ask me about this kind of weird and wonderful industry? And I'll do my best to answer it. Remember, this channel is all about sharing ideas, tools, and tips to help you make better video, speak with more confidence, and